Hello, workmates. Welcome to Work and Talk in PH, your go to podcast for lifestyle insights, career convos, and real estate realness, where chill convos meet real life lessons because hashtag it works.
Hello, workmates. I'm Ron, and today we're stepping into the world that's both fun and future forward, the world of game development. So, our guest has worn many hats: developer, innovator, and educator, and he recently received the 2024 Special Citation from the National Academy of Science and Technology for his contributions to game development in the Philippines. Please help me welcome Neil Patrick Del Gallego to the podcast.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Of course. Thank you for giving us your time this afternoon. Let's cut the chase and start from the beginning. Most people love for game starts during childhood. Ikaw ba? Were you always into gaming?
Ever since, I think the very first computer game I played is definitely the family computer.
Okay.
So very old school. So I still remember clearly yung Super Mario, definitely. And then, siguro yung sumunod is definitely PS1. Tapos sa PS1 talagang yun yung medyo nostalgia talaga. Tapos PS2, I also played that. And then, as I grew up, syempre nawala naging busy na, so wala akong PS3, hindi ko siya nalaro. PS4 hindi rin. PC, definitely nag-stick ako sa PC until now. So I'm still a PC gamer. PlayStation Portable pala, yun, back then. PlayStation Portable. Tapos, back in the days, mahilig din ako sa arcade.
Okay.
So talagang yung pupunta ka sa SM, di ba? Sa Time Zone, sa Quantum, and yung mga games noon is definitely, I was active talaga noon. Ang talagang nilaro ko noon is definitely Dance Revo. Yung mga
So later you'll give us a sample.
It's just kasi footwork lang yun. Footwork. Pero yung mga isa, no? Tapos yung mga fighting games na nauso nung sa arcade.
So you basically revealed your age na rin, no? Saying
Yes.
Quantum. May Quantum pa ba
Yes,
ngayon?
oo, wala na ngayon, no?
At least Time Zone meron pa.
Hindi, meron pa rin sila pareho. Quantum and Time Zone, meron pa rin. Pero yung games kasi, puro kasi claw machine. To be honest, ayaw ko na. Puro na lang claw machine, puro na lang ticket. So, pero back then, yun eh. Halos wide range of game genres may kita mo noon sa arcade. So, that was a perfect time.
Yeah, but you mentioned anyway yung mga first games na nalaro mo with family computer, for example. So that's when you were a kid. And then what did you take in college ba? Was it also related to gaming?
I entered computer science program in De La Salle University, the same institution that I'm teaching right now. But one of the major factors of me entering computer science is alam kong it would lead me to a game development program.
Okay.
But actually yung college experience ko, to be honest, medyo challenging yon. It's because dun ko lang na-realize na kailangan talaga ng math sa game programming, game development. I still remember today how difficult our artificial intelligence course was kasi puro talaga mathematical notations. But as I grew up and earned my yung master's, doctorate, doon ko lang din na-realize yung value of knowing talaga yung math behind everything, including sa computer science talaga and game programming. Kasi talagang pag-iisipan mo yung game mechanics, it's actually surprisingly tied to a lot or strongly sa mathematical fundamentals. So that's what makes games noon na talagang optimized, maganda siya laruin, and may may fun experience sa mga people like us, no? Oldies.
So even with the bachelor how do you with the bachelor's degree, right? May artificial intelligence na kayo na part of the course?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ngayon kasi di ba usong-uso ni mga ChatGPT,
Yes.
ChatGPT, large language models and all of that. That's what's good, I guess, about in our institution sa DLSU, na yung mga techniques na or AI na nauso ngayon, tinuturo na siya before.
Ooh,
But hindi kasi kaya pa ng hardware. So it was actually a matter of time. Kaya ngayon, nag-boom kagad, di ba? Pero lahat ng theories na tinuro sa artificial intelligence when I was an undergraduate, nag-materialize siya. So that further proves na yung theories noon talagang gumagana, no? So we're just waiting for the hardware talaga na to catch up.
Nice.
So yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
Oh,
I had
so
no
yeah,
idea.
so I'm
You
sure
had a hint of AI to be this big before pa when you were in
siguro as an individual, hindi ko naman din ina-expect magbo-boom kasi it was honestly expensive kasi parang we know talaga na the computers will only have this kind of power, di ba? Tapos yun, nag-catch up din eventually, so tapos nagkaroon na ng mga image generation, di ba? ChatGPT. So na-caught off guard din ako. Well, to be honest, as a computer scientist. But, yeah.
So, when you took Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, gaming or game development talaga yung
yes.
what inspired you to finish it?
Siguro nung undergraduate ako, may electives din kami sa game development.
Okay.
So, I took game design as the first game design, tapos after sumunod yung game development. So actually dalawang electives lang. And siguro yung pinaka first yung game design, parang dun natuwa yung teacher namin, yung panel, we presented parang our very own horror game, ganyan na I was actually parang thinking noon na parang uy, pwede ko tong gawin, but hindi siya nag-materialize, no? Maybe now, let's see, no? If we have time to actually create that very mysterious horror game that we presented ilang years na, no?
Was that part of your thesis?
Hindi, siya project lang siya.
Project.
Yeah.
So when you graduated, were you able to, you were able to get a job that's into game development?
Yes, siguro yung part na yun, parang baka nag-align lang din yung stars because I was also applying din naman sa non-GameDev. So if, let's say, I decided to get a web development project noon, I wouldn't be here to where I am, di ba? Pero siguro I applied to Anino Games, which is the first ever Filipino game studio. So actually, pwede ko magpakita. Ito yung first game nila. Dinala natin ito as props. May kita mo sa camera. So ito ang pinaka-first Filipino game. Hindi ako part nito, pero this is like, very important artifact for all of us in the Filipino game industry.
Wow.
No? So it was produced by the same studio. So,
where can people watching access this, by the way? Is this...
Ay, wala na to kasi it's a dead game. Hindi na rin siya na-maintain. Of course, dahil tumagal-tagal na wala na rin yung talagang original team of Anino. Napunta rin sila sa iba't ibang careers, iba't ibang studios. Hopefully, no, maybe in the future, if mag-align ulit ang aming mga landas, we could maybe create...
It can be revived though.
Yes, we can. Because I have the source, the game itself, so we could actually reverse engineer it kung pwede, no? Yun. So,
meron bang possible na you have to secure trademarks or licenses?
Well, kilala ko personally ang may-ari. So shout out to Sir Neil Del Gallego, si Luna Javier, si Michael Rivero. So sila yung mga pioneer developers of Anito. I actually know them personally and we meet regularly actually. So kasi maliit lang ang Filipino game development community. So we could always parang find ways to discuss kung willing ba kaming balikan yung mga ginawa namin before and revive it again. So yan.
Because that would of course take a huge chunk of your time.
Yes, of course. So,
and as you said, these people, they have their own careers.
May careers, may sariling
commitments.
Yeah.
Okay. So, being part, how long were you in that studio, in that game studio?
2011 ako nag-start, tapos 2017.
Up to 2017?
6
years.
Wait lang. Oo, tama.
6 years.
Almost 5. So, October pa, tanda ako, 2011.
Okay.
Tapos, parang May 2017 umalis ako. that's when I went to LaSalle after I finished yung master's degree.
Okay.
Yun, so,
You were already working, you were still working in Anino Game Lab. Anino?
Anino. Anino Games.
Anino Games. When you took your MBA in LaSalle.
Yeah.
With the
MBA, Masters in Computer Science.
Masters in Computer
Excuse me, no?
Science.
Yeah,
sorry. Ako pala yung nag-MBA. Masters in Computer Science. And then you decided to go full-time finishing your masters or natapos mo na yung masters?
Surprisingly, natapos ko yung masters na part-time.
Okay.
Siguro you might be asking me the next question, bakit ako napunta sa academe? Tama
Yeah.
ba? Yan. Nung time, nung mga 2014 na tayo. 2014 to 2017, ano yun medyo nag-start mag-saturate yung mobile game development market, which our company, yung Anino Games, or my former our company, na part of that market. So
Okay.
talagang highly competitive siya. So tapos around that time, hindi rin talaga maganda yung financial situation ng company. Parang it was one of my parang safety blanket.
Yeah.
Na in case may mangyari or something, let's just study again.
Okay.
So yun lang. So out of the blue, nag-masters ako. Tapos talagang unti-unti lang, part-time. Then, surprisingly, after 3 years of chugging along na part-time, natapos ko siya.
Okay.
Yun. And siguro what made me jump into academe is, first may may fulfillment din ako nakuha sa masters, which is I was able to publish a scientific paper in a high-impact journal. So, this also one of another fulfilling alternative aside from creating games na minsan magsasara, minsan magfe-fail yung game, i-abandon siya. So parang nagkaroon ako ng isip ng parang alternative fulfillment. So which is through scientific pursuit. Tapos surprisingly, I realized na yung pay ng at least ng LaSalle or ng academe, mataas siya as compared to game development back then.
Okay.
So, I think up until now, yun yung I think reality, no, na hindi pa mature masyado yung creatives industry, which were ngayon as my job now as an associate professor and really researching talaga sa game development is parang to have that advocacy or push my advocacy na talagang i-accelerate yung growth ng Filipino game development community. Kasi it's actually a multi-million dollar or multi-billion pa na industry when you compare it to Western, to Japanese, to other cultures.
Wow. Are you saying that we haven't scratched the surface?
We haven't.
Potential.
Yeah, we haven't yet. So I see many promising independent studios na lumalaki. So we want to support them as much as we can. But definitely, if you compare it to the scale of, let's say, just name one Western gaming company like Blizzard, diba? Blizzard. Ano pa ba? Ubisoft, yan. No? So malalaki talaga, no? So it really involves a multi-billion dollar industry. So lalo na yung parating na game which is Grand Theft Auto 6. I think that's billions na. According to, as far as I know, they're investing billions of for just one game, di ba? Yun yung Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah.
Wow, but that's the exciting, no? But how do people get into it, by the way? Sa industry. Like, what are the roles that they could, coming from different industries as well? Like, for example, say that I'm from engineering, like, which particular role yung pwede kong i-explore?
Okay, so surprisingly, ang game development industry, it's highly interdisciplinary. It's really many talents. So hindi lang siya computer science, no? So meron din, for example, in game design, there are actually psychologists, so people who studied psychology, yung psychology, kasi they want to understand what makes games fun, right?
Yeah.
So that's one. And then of course there are also some expertise required sa storytelling. So to some extent yung mga nasa literature, kailangan din sila. And of course legal, no, yung mga intellectual property and all of that. So it's actually involves many. So it's actually akin to a filmmaking project. So actually kaya nga pareho yung positions or similar yung titles ng if you check the credit screen of games, 'di ba? So merong producers, directors, ganyan. So those are names that's borrowed from the film industry.
Okay.
So yeah, so if let's say you're an engineer, parang engineer ba? Civil?
Mechanical.
Mechanicals. Okay, so mechanical.
Layo eh.
Physics, I guess.
So concepts. You're
yeah.
trying to get concepts because in one point you'll be able to apply it in a certain concept, a theme of a game, right? Okay.
Kuwari kung racing game, no? So malamang if you have a budget, definitely you would require consultants from talagang working in automobile, di ba? Yeah. So,
Because I think I remember one of the things that a speaker in the expo said in the Philippine GameDev expo that we attended. Basically, games are trying to simulate experiences, di ba? So you will need consultants who are masters in that particular field. Kaya kung kahit anong field pa yon, it can be turned in. A game can be turned out of it. That's what you're saying. Nice. Okay, so you. If we go back to your timeline, 2017, you finished your masters, and then did you go full time na to?
So full time sa teaching, tapos syempre I teach pa rin yung computer science, yung roots ko pa rin with of course game development. Tapos sumakto rin na in our institution we opened yung interactive entertainment program which really is specialized talaga for game development in general. So back in our days, wala yon, talagang computer science lang yan, or engineering, so very traditional. So it's only around 2017 when we realized that wala pa ako noon, but when our college realized na it's time to open talaga a dedicated game development. Sumakto naman na when I was there, kailangan ng game development teacher, so it's really parang feeling ko fate na kailangan akong magturo doon. So yeah.
And up to now.
Yes,
so,
of course.
Since 2017, wow. So I guess dedicated ka na talaga dyan.
Yeah.
And you'll more later, kasi I know that he's been granted with a certain government project.
Yes.
But
hindi
before,
flood control.
hindi flood control.
Hindi flood control.
And but before we go to that, you mentioned that this has a very huge potential, right? This is an industry with a very huge market potential. Ano yung challenges and how do we actually get there?
Okay. There are so many.
Okay. You can name a few.
Yeah. Siguro ang nagsa-stand out talaga sa akin as educator is yung talent. Kasi even us until now, I really experience, as the chairperson of our department, I really experience the hardships or challenges of finding the best people talaga to also teach, no? So we need someone that's active practitioner talaga sa industry. And when I consult with industry kasi, kailangan rin ng tao, di ba? So parang it's an evil cycle na they qualified people, tas kami rin, we need qualified teachers to share the knowledge. So medyo may ganong evil cycle. So definitely the talent is what's really needed.
So there's a gap in the demand and supply for talent.
Yes. So scarcity talaga. Scarce yung scarce yung talent, tapos syempre I think parang chicken and egg din. Hindi rin ganun karami po pasok na projects din sa bansa related to game development. Kasi nga, kulang pa talaga yung people for that.
Okay. Yeah. But was there strategy in terms of addressing that gap?
Yeah, so siguro we can start with sa government. No? We are thankful na our government is recognizing the needs of the creatives industry. So not just games, films, lahat ng creatives, so cinema, game development. So they actually have what we call the creatives industry roadmap. So which means parang ito yung trajectory or parang ideal timeline nila or support na ibibigay sa companies, sa universities, ganyan, na that aims to make the Philippines as parang one of the globally recognized ASEAN nations na kayang mag-produce din ng competitive games, no? Games, films, and so on. So lahat
In any platform?
Yeah, in any platform.
Okay.
So anyone can just search for it. So it's called DOST, Creatives Industry Roadmap.
Okay.
Yun. So yun yung first step. Tapos there are of course initiatives then from the Game Developers Association of the Philippines with Department of Trade and Industry. As far as I know, yun yung tama. Yung Philippine Skills Framework yung tawag nila.
Okay.
So parang it's a public document na it's a guideline or framework for everyone na parang this is parang policy recommendation of what actions needed to be done by all of us as Filipinos who wish to upbring yung Filipino creatives industry na skill set.
And then, with that, how did you get to, you applied for one of the grants?
Yes.
Sorry. So, we mentioned earlier that he's been awarded with a certain
Yes.
project in game development. Tell us the story, like how it started. Where did you get the idea?
Yeah, okay. So, sige, no? So, first, hindi siya flood control, okay? So, to share with everyone, so Department of Science and Technology is awarding or giving what they call grants in aid program to various entities, pero normally academe siya. Parang to pursue yung R&D. So at least that's what I'm happy about here in the Philippines, na there's support for professors like us to pursue or to contribute to the national growth. So which is through the grants in aid program. So ang story behind that is parang right after my PhD. So my PhD, by the way, is a different topic. Hindi siya game dev. So we discuss that later. Pero right after my PhD, parang I just decided na since tapos naman na ako sa PhD, parang ano pa bang higher degree? Wala na, no? Parang max level na. So I decided to just go back to what I originally do, which is game dev. So talagang yun naman talaga yung skill set ko ever since. So bumalik lang ako doon, I just checked the literature, doon ko na-discover yung creatives industry roadmap and decided to craft a proposal to help contribute to the creatives industry roadmap or to the growth of the Filipino game dev. My idea back then is nag-start siya sa course na tinuturo ko sa interactive entertainment program. So we are the only university kasi that actually teaches students how to create their own game engines from scratch. So if you're wondering what's a game engine, so alam bang game engine? So
I would say technically no, but I would guess na it's a structure that you would have to use in starting off a game.
Yes, so exactly. So parang it's a tool. Galing. Galing. It's a tool. So it's a tool or a software that we can use to create games, no? So
does it define the game format?
Yes, kasi parang how you design the game engine, which is a tool, will affect how the game will look like.
Okay.
So so as I was saying, we're teaching game engine construction in the curriculum. Tapos ako yung nag-design ng course na yon. And it was during that time na ako mismo nahirapan ako mag-design kasi I tried looking for literature na parang siguro naman, no, parang yun yung hope ko na siguro naman there's someone out there who created like a framework for game engine design, no? But surprisingly wala. Okay, so it was really difficult na parang hindi ko siya ma-search or kalat talaga, hindi siya cohesive. So some have started na parang hobby programming lang siya. So it's not mature enough na pwede siyang ituro sa students. Then of course, yung mga mature game engines like Unity, Unreal, or other game engines, hindi nila pinapakita yung source code.
Okay.
It's kasi nga, it's proprietary. So it's a big game engine. So malamang they want to keep their secrets talaga.
But can you purchase? Can you get a license?
Yeah, you can purchase it, but of course, 'di ba, parang it's a cost to anyone, no? So yun yung time parang okay, so how do I now navigate my way on designing an educational course for a game engine construction? So I really have to start from scratch. So I really talagang do the hard work of researching everything, then try to build my own game engine. Then from there, I designed assessments and all of that. So siguro yung next big win that prior to me applying to a grant is I tried writing an academic paper about it. Kasi doon ko na-realize na parang, okay, since wala namang nag-isip or gumawa nito, what if I just tried to write an academic paper about it and share it to the academic community. Parang out of just challenging myself na baka naman siguro ako yung first, no, or something, or yun. And surprisingly, according to the peer review process, wala pa nga daw noon. So it was actually also a decision on my end na sinulat ko siya. So which reinforced my knowledge na wala pa talagang nag-start noon. So na-publish siya actually. So you can just check my profile sa Google Scholar.
We'll try to you can send us the link so that we can share it sa video. And then
so from there parang yun na yung naging basis ko na this is the paper. So in the creatives industry roadmap kasi there's really a very specific bullet point nakalagay. Creation of localized game engines or frameworks. So yun na, no? Parang tinarget ko siya doon. I scaled it up. Parang I propose na ito dapat yung next steps kapag may pera. Ito dapat yung gagawin. So I just applied sa Grants in Aid program and I chugged along the gruesome review process na na talagang Friday magsisend sila ng revision sa kailangan maipasa on a Monday morning or else reject na siya kagad. Because it's really a competitive grant. So yun. So
what year was this?
2024 ako nag-submit. Yan. So so nag-submit ako, I faithfully address yung reviews, yung comments. So for example, hindi naman din siya, it wasn't an easy path. Kasi, of course, in the review process, there's also fellow technical reviews. So, yung talagang experts. Nag-consult, kasi si DOST, nagko-consult din sila with industry. No? Na parang kung may connection ba, parang relevant ba yung ginagawa kong research sa industry. So, of course, there were criticisms when I was filing the proposal. So, may ibang studios, sabi parang kailangan ba namin yan? Hindi namin kailangan yan eh. So, may mga ganon. So, we tried to really address it to the best way that I can, na ano ba talagang halfway to make sure na we still do our research on game engines and at the same time makaka-benefit din talaga yung studios. So with all of those reviews, fortunately, after na yung review process, so nag-grant yung game engines project. So we actually have the year funds now with us in the LSU Game Lab. And na rin, parang we're towards the end of the first quarter of our project. So, yeah. Going well siya. Going smoothly. Definitely, maybe in the third or fourth quarter, we can share it to our Facebook page, no, in Game Lab, na ito na yung preview of our own game engine to create various Philippine games.
Does that mean it's gonna be accessible for any Filipino entity to use?
Yeah, kasi
or any publicly, hindi lang Philippine, hindi lang here
it's
sa Philippines.
Technically public kasi open source siya. Yun yung promise namin sa DOST na once we're done, and since it's government funds, hindi naman siya dapat proprietary, no? Dapat i-share mo siya to anyone. So it's going to be open source definitely once we're done.
Nice. Okay, so you would you answered another item, di ba, for the challenges. Una is the talent. Second would be the local game engine.
Yeah.
How about the third one?
Ano pa ba pwede? Normally talaga talent. Yun yung pinaka-first.
And again, babalik siya sa sinabi mo na hindi makapasok yung ilang projects dito sa Philippines
kasi
because of that gap.
Hindi pa qualified. Then sometimes yung mga projects then, for example, let's say, meron bang studio capable of creating like a Grand Theft Auto 6 game, di ba? Parang wala pa talaga. So may iba outsourcing na kaya gumawa ng talagang high quality assets. Pero a full end-to-end game na talagang ganung level of quality, wala pa eh. So as far as I know, wala pa. Kasi mostly ang ginagawa talaga natin as Filipinos, outsourcing. So we have yet to create parang like an Anito 2, parang ganun, na talagang na talagang mala Disney level quality, may Love, Death, Robots na Netflix. Yung mga ganong types of ganong quality of art na original talaga, na original IP, wala pa akong nakikita. So hopefully within our lifetime may makagawa na. So yun yung advocacy ko rin.
Hopefully ma-reach na to yung yung target mo na talent.
Yes.
Right?
So kapag kaya na yun, definitely we could attract many more investments.
I see.
So actually, if tumingin ka nga lang sa Southeast Asian region nga lang, Japan, Korea, parang di ba lahat sila ang gaganda ng mga technology sa creatives, ang gaganda ng artwork nila, di ba? So lahat ng digital art, not necessarily games, di ba? Ang gaganda lahat, di ba? So talagang they really put money and talent in those.
Wow. Ito yung mga pagkakataon na I kind of feel sad. Right?
Yes. So,
kasi kung saang project napunta yung
which is
but,
yun.
Yeah, we don't have to dwell so much on that. It's exciting, no? Pala. Given the fact that there's a lot of potential to the market. But would you say, so the government is trying to do their part?
Yeah.
That's what you said kanina. The government's trying to do their part. How about educational institutions?
So definitely we're doing our part.
But do you think it's enough or kaya pang i-expand yung portfolio ng institutions who are able to offer these courses?
Yeah. So siguro ang call ko lang din for fellow educators or academicians is actually talagang valuable eh. It's not supposed to be, actually yun yung problem eh. Kulang din tayo sa research. So in our country, we don't invest a lot in research kasi some people think na parang it's not yung outcomes ng research, hindi kasi kagad siya nakikita kasi it's it's a project that sometimes destined to fail kasi nga, pero how would you know na magfe-fail siya kung hindi mo gagawin, right? So yun nga, kailangan mo ng research to experience yung mga ganong trial and error. So siguro as educators, ang call ko din sa fellow educators is hindi lang sila sana nagtuturo, no? So sometimes they have to push or contribute to the knowledge. So for example, me, I'm game development knowledge. I try to contribute to that field by generating knowledge, which is in this case generating a new engine. Kasi if we'll just look search ka lang ng game engine, dalawa lang ang lalabas. Unity, Unreal. Yun yung pinaka-famous, yung dalawa lang yun. So parang doon pa lang there's really a gap. Parang all of the developers will resort to only Unreal or Unity. Sometimes Godot, pwede yung Godot or Game Maker. So pero as you notice, sobrang limited ng choices. Pero in, let's say, a AAA gaming company like Blizzard, they never use game engines naman eh. They have their own. So hindi lang siya nire-release kasi nga sarili nila yun. So I think we should also have that kind of mindset, no? Na dapat meron din tayong sariling tech. So to do our own tech, definitely we need educators who would first parang contribute or formulate new knowledge, which is done through
And I'm not sure din kasi how to inspire these potential talent no? Parang they something needs to be shown to them to pursue game development and then get the right support.
Yeah, exactly.
How about for private this question may be a long shot, but how about for private companies? Like, do you think are saying we'll have to wait until a certain investor comes into the Philippines and really plan to invest?
The Game Developers Association of the Philippines and other many game studios, they're actively naman doing their part in going outside, traveling abroad, attending games conferences in the hopes of pulling investments nga, no, in portfolio. Siguro to add to that, what can be additional value is sino ba ang pwedeng magturo ng game development? Siyempre yung mga nagpa-practice din. So, kaya yun yung every time, for example, there's like an interested game studio that approaches us for parang we're looking for internships, ganun. Parang may mga game studios na maghahanap ng student interns from us. So I always ask them in return na parang, so we can give you students, but at least give us teachers. parang some of your practitioners, so some of your practitioners, allow them to teach with us part-time. Parang ganun. Kasi doon lalo mare-reinforce yung at mako-complete talaga yung gap na sila mismo yung practices na alam talaga nila in the industry, share na kagad sa students namin. Tapos ako rin, hindi na rin ako mag-worry na parang sino magtuturo ng Blender, ganun, sino magtuturo ng 3D modeling. So yun yung mga very challenging parts sa sa side namin.
By the way, once cross fingers with the success of your project now for a local game engine, is this gonna be usable across all platforms, gaming platforms?
Siguro kasi research research. First phase is PC muna. So yun yung pinaka-staple. PC muna, susunod ay Android device. Kasi we're of course running with a limited budget. Hindi naman kami billions like alam mo na, no? Yung mga nakikita natin sa hearing ngayon, no? So, billions yun. So, wala pa kaming ganun. It's actually just a 10 million project. So, to cut costs then, or to manage our resources, yun muna yung focus namin. PC and Android.
Okay.
Kasi sila yung, open source by default. Tapos, eventually, if, let's say, we have, parang ako rin, ang gagawin ko, some plan of is once we have preliminary version ready, we could parang apply for additional grants para lang for example to purchase yung Steam Deck, Nintendo Switch, kasi yung mga yon required ng may parang may developer fees or parang developer kits for us to develop on those platforms or to make our game engines compatible, for example to work on Nintendo Switch. So, yung mga targets namin. Pero for now, PC lang talaga and Android kasi open source siya.
I see.
I also forgot yung iPhone, no? iPhone, iOS, basta iOS in general. But it also requires investment kasi closed ecosystem, di ba? We know naman ang Apple, they want everything controlled. So, dapat meron kaming Mac, meron rin kaming developer account for Apple. Lahat na lahat required may bayad. So of course wala pa kaming pera for that.
But I really wish na the challenges you shared with us would be filled in a couple of years.
Yes.
Right?
Hopefully by 2027.
By 2027.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can do a second part.
Pagtapos
na yung project mo.
Yun na, pakita na yun.
Because I think pretty exciting, ako sa gamer myself, kahit hindi mo binanggit yung mga games na nilalaro ko, it's fine.
Yeah.
No, but just to cater to all the markets, right? And to tap hindi lang yung isang klase ng games, but with a lot. Any final message to our audience?
Siguro definitely work hard, play hard.
Ayan.
So, dapat
literally
play hard. So, for example, even if I do research on game engines, naglalaro pa rin ako ng games. Definitely to keep myself updated talaga on what's happening, on paano yung latest talagang game mechanics, how they do it. So, at least aware ako. So, naglalaro pa rin ako ng mga...
Do you critic the games that you play?
Hindi naman. Siyempre, I enjoy it naman. I try to enjoy it. Of course, hindi naman parang sa education nga critic na kami. So it's also my way of parang resting, which is to just play games na relax lang naman, syempre. Yun.
Wow. Well, I think myself alone ako, I can say I'm a bit actually overwhelmed with everything I've heard today. I just playing games, but I never knew the challenges behind it, especially for the Philippines and how they're trying to catch up with its countries. Now, they're actually very big
Yeah, so
in terms of game development. And
mm-mm.
thank you so much for your time, Dr.
Thank you
Neil.
for
I
inviting
hope,
me.
yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot, just as much as
Oo.
I did. And we're again looking forward to the success of your project.
Thank you. So we're doing our best. So yeah. So thank you for inviting us.
I-audit namin yan after 2 years.
Definitely, feel free to visit, no? So, transparent naman kami. Wala kaming kinukupit. So, it's actually pretty much public. You can visit our Facebook page, so which is DLSU Game Lab. So, dun yung makikita talaga yung developments of what we're doing with the DOST project. So, it's actually titled Project Anito, which is, again, ito nga, no, to pay tribute to the original Filipino game. Yun.
Guys, feel free to check it out. And thanks again, Dr. Neil, for joining us today.
Thank you, thank you.
Hashtag it works. So that was again Neil who shared this journey, and it's really see the turning of your passion into something way bigger. And I hope that the legacy continues to the next game developers in the Philippines. What really stands out in that conversation is how game development goes beyond playing or building entertainment. It's really about creativity, problem solving, and storytelling. And it could really shape the future of game developers in the Philippines. Don't forget to follow Work and Talking PH for more episodes as we bring you the highlights of work that matters and the people behind it. I'm Ron once again. This is Work and Talking PH, your go-to podcast for lifestyle insights, career conversations, and real estate levels. This is for chill conversations with real life lessons because hashtag it works.